Hello. I just remembered the microphone at the last second. Thought it was all ready. How are you? Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. So let me know, can you hear everything? Does everything look okay? I've had a lot of technical issues lately since I moved. The computer had to, of course, had like 3 updates, and in the 2 weeks it wasn't connected to the internet, and the internet cord, all kinds of crazy things. So let me know if everything looks okay. And if you are here watching this and it's not live, here's a few things you can do to make this faster, because I know you're probably looking for a nice edited and quick video. So if you can do it, I would click the little gear at the bottom of underneath the video, and you can adjust the playback speed, and I would put it to like 1.75, 1.5 if you really want something quick. Turn on the closed captions so then you can at least see what I'm saying, because they're pretty good. The other thing you can do is, if you're on like a device, not a desktop, you can tap the screen on the right and the left hand side to make it jump forward and backward, and you can set that amount. There's a big echo. There's a big echo. All right. Is it really bad? That is one of my things. I'm having a big sound issue. Sorry, I'm interrupting my little spiel, but I may be restarting the live stream. Can you tell me more, Allison? Let me see if I can hear it. I'm gonna turn on the volume of my stream. Sorry, if this is probably gonna. You hear the echo too. Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay. Did that change it? Alert box pattern table. Okay. That's okay. Why is my Yeti on here twice? The Yeti is on here twice. Okay, did that fix it? I think it's pretty bad. So I think what happened is sometimes when Windows updates, they change some of the default settings with audio. And like one time they made them private, like cameras private. That was fun. What nope? It's not gone? Okay, I've got an open and a yes. I need more. Can you write down exactly? It sounds the same. Okay, you guys. I know. So there's a huge delay when you reply to me. Yes, what? It's fixed? Say it's fixed or it's not fixed. Because I don't know what yes is referring to. Thank you. Okay, it's fixed. Okay. Yeah, so you know what's interesting is it duplicated my microphone. Yeah, exactly. It duplicated my microphone. It added the speakers as an audio output, and it turned on the audio for all the things that don't have audio. Jeez. I think I'm gonna have to get a little help on this issue, because I can't figure out how it's doing it. Phew, I'm so glad I fixed it. All right, so the other thing I can't get fixed is this. So will you guys tell me and say yes, we hear the alert, or no, we don't hear the alert, just in case I ask another question and I don't know what you're replying to, because I'm silly that way and I do that. So I'm going to replay an alert, and I want to know, can you hear the music that goes with this? Okay, I'm pressing it now. Can you hear that? Did you hear the little swing? Because I can't. And I've been trying to fix it since yesterday. It disappeared. And I'm wondering if it's because now they mute audio for me. So, yeah, exactly, Allison. I knew it was a chat delay, and that's the thing, is like I can't stay here, standing here doing nothing, waiting for the response to a question. All right, so tell me if you can hear that little alert, 'cause I'm really curious. You do not hear the alert. Okay, yeah. See, something's going on with that as well. And I have tried so many things to fix it. So I think that that's You don't hear it. So I had this other crazy feedback issue yesterday. It was like worse than the echo. It was bad. So I got that fixed and I don't even know how. Okay. Well, that's a shame because I had a bunch of Patreon pledges yesterday and I really want to thank people. So Karen, thank you so much if you're here. And we have, so you can't hear it, but we'll put her on the screen. We have Jackie. And a few people updated their pledges. I really appreciate that it did not go unmissed. Didn't go amiss. I didn't miss it. Thanks, Catherine. Let's see. We have Kate. She's a new subscriber. Thank you. And lastly, Walter. All right, Pushini, you done swimming there? There we go. And we have Walter. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. And just as a little bit of news, yesterday I updated my Patreon tiers to actually reflect differences between the cost. And I added some Zoom sessions where they're kind of like 1-on-5 Zoom sessions. So there'll never be more than like 5 other people in there. And I think for a while, there's just going to be a few of us. And you can bring whatever you're working on. You can get help. I'll have my sewing machine handy. And you also get like anything free I put up on Patreon, which isn't very often. Patreon is definitely a place just to support me doing this and continue to do this. And I'm just now trying to make some distinctions because I do really appreciate it. And I really enjoy the one-on-one and trying to help people. So I'm adding that to the top tier. So I think it'll be really fun. And I'm going to limit it to just 20 people a month. So there'll be a few. And there's going to be a few time slots because I know... Hi, Serena. I know there's people all over the world watching. So I'll have some that are in the evening for me, the morning for me, weekends, and weekdays. And so we'll get everybody covered. So hi, everybody. Hello, Crow and Dar, Allison, Penny. Thanks so much for helping me fix that audio issue. I didn't fix it really, but that's kind of weird too. So I also have a new counter on the screen, which I forgot to click, but I'm going to start trying to add timestamps as I record. And you guys, if you want to help me out on that, that'd be great. That way we can start adding timestamps immediately, which adds a little bit of work, but it's so much better to just do it right off the bat. All right, let's cut. So I'm doing the Decades of Style 1940s New England dress. There's a short and a long sleeve version. This is pretty cool. The pattern pieces are so unique, which is really awesome. And the sizing is grouped by letter. So there's like 3A, there's size A, B, C, and is there a D? A, B, and C. It's imperial, sorry. Ooh, this way. And then within each of the letters, there's 3 sizes. So what I'm going to call this is by the bust size. I wish actually all sizing would just go to a chest size for people. I think that it would be the least stigmatizing in some ways because it's just a number. And I saw people do these really creative things with their sizing, like name it whatever something. And it's so confusing because you still have to refer back to what the measurements are. So I think it would be so nice if it was just like a measurement, not a number like 6, 8, 2, 4, 20, not a letter like SMLX, it would be so nice. So, but anyway, so this one is going to go by bust size. And I'm going to do the 38 inch, which is the middle one in the B section right here. Can you see those numbers? I don't even know if you can because I have the autofocus off. Kind of, huh? All right, I need to tie my shoe. Sorry. We don't want to fall. I got new shoelaces. I don't know why you needed to know that, but when was the last time you guys bought shoelaces? I had to think about where to even buy them. All right, so we have this really great fabric here. This project, sorry. The project has been sponsored by Hearts Fabric, and Decades of Style also chipped in the pattern, which is really nice. I really like that collaboration, because it kind of shows their support, you know. And this is the Tuscany pinstripe. The style number for the fabric is 89219. And that's on the Hearts website. There's a code right up here. Let me see, how do I point? Right here. Can you see that? Let's make it a little bigger. There's a little code. If you write in 10 so-so, you'll get 10% off of your order. I have 3 buttons. I think I'm supposed to have 4. They're really cool. I only ever had 3, and I just realized yesterday that I'm missing a button for this project. So that's kind of a bummer. I'll have to let them know. I feel terrible that I didn't notice sooner. Hopefully it wasn't in the packaging, because they usually put it inside the fabric and everything, and I know now. I'm careful when I open it up. Okay, so the pattern pieces are pretty interesting. You can see them here. Here's some nice flat sketches. So they didn't specify short sleeve or long sleeve. I was thinking I would do the long sleeve only because if there's enough fabric, only because there's more sewing involved with those. And I think if you're doing the short sleeve, if you've made this dress so far, you're going to be fine hemming a short sleeve. So doing the long sleeve, it does have a placket and a cuff and some gathers. So maybe we'll do the long sleeve version. I love the short sleeve version. And they could always cut the sleeve and make it short sleeve if they want. So gives some options. All right. I have this fabric opened up. It's pretty wide. I want to say it's like, look how wide this is. I want to say it's about 60 inches wide. Yeah, it's like 58 inches wide. I think my camera might be zoomed in a little too much. I have a lot of pattern pieces here. And all I've done is cut them apart so far. And I cut them out kind of on my size line. Like, I just cut around it. I cut off all the extra sizes just so I had the minimal amount of tissue paper here on the table. And then I grouped them by cut twos and stuff like that. So I don't really expect I'm going to do any modifications. And that's mainly because I'm not cutting and sewing a muslin first, and because there's so many really great details, I don't really think it needs any modifications. But there is some stripes to be dealt with. They are vertical, which is great. I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut out the whole bodice first, and then I'm going to do the skirt. Because then we can always shorten the skirt if we're just a little shy. Oh, sure, Penny. Yeah, that is one of the uploaded videos I plan to do really soon. I've got quite a few videos I'm working on right now. But lately I've been just working on, like, I did the intro and the new welcome video. And today I have another one. I have it's ready. I just didn't want to make the stream delayed anymore. That's going to play at the beginning of a live stream. So those folks that are watching not live can see that thing I just said at the beginning when I got interrupted by the echo. All right, so these are cut on the fold, but because of the stripes, I'm a little nervous to do that. I'm just gonna have to flip it. And I think, like, this fabric is pretty wide. So this right here is the bodice facing. Is that the front or the back? Bodice yoke, bodice facing. All right, so this must be this here. It's funny that it's flipped. These are the pockets. Fun stuff. Sleeve cuff, bodice back. Bodice back's pretty straightforward. There is a neck facing. It doesn't call for interfacing in the pattern, but you do need a little bit for, if you want, it's optional for the back neck facing, and it also specifies it for half of the cuff if you do the long sleeve. So you might want to take that into account. I looked everywhere to see if this was interfaced, and I didn't see anything saying it's interfaced. Maybe we'll think about, maybe we'll just add it later. Hey Derek, how's it going? Chilly. Yay! Congratulations. My husband had his on Monday too, and my daughter gets hers today. Everybody in my house has had a vaccine since Friday except me. My dogs, my cat, my husband, and my daughter tonight. I'm the only one not getting poked by anything. Okay, so that's kind of a semblance of how these go. This little yoke, so this bodice goes like this over this. This will be sewn here. I know, it's kind of hard to see with the tissue. And then it has this button right here. And you don't get into and out of the dress with these buttons. They're just for aesthetics. There is an invisible zipper, though, on the dress. So that should be fun. I think do I have to get my home machine out for that? I can't remember. Have I ever managed to do it on my industrial? I may have to practice. I haven't done it in a while. All right, let's do it. So I might pin, since I'm going to be flipping over. And when I do that, sometimes if I have a little bit of paper here, what I like to do is just pin on the line here. Maybe just inside this side of that line. And that way I can just flip it over. Actually, maybe it would be better to pin it on the other side of the line. That way, when I flip it, yeah, that might be actually better. But I didn't really leave myself over here, so let's move over here like that. Okay. Oh, really, Derek? That's so funny. Yeah, now that I always bring the dogs together. That way they're a little more relaxed, you know? Relaxed. Loki is just like, I mean, he would go towards danger in a second. Like, he's just really not, scared or anything. Yeah, thanks, Derek. I know. I'm so excited for them. All right, so I'm just gonna, should I pin a few more pieces so you don't think I'm just like willy-nilly cutting? I mean, I kind of am, huh? Could probably get this one here. This one's cut too. This one's on the fold here. And then we have the center front. We have this. It's so funny when pattern pieces, you know why that this is this way? Because actually, technically, it is correct. Because this is how it goes in here. So it's actually not weird that this is facing this way. Let's place this here. This one goes on the fold as well. I saw that there, did you guys see that there's a new pattern by Itch to Stitch? Well, I have very few pins on this pin cushion. It's kind of a cute little like woven top. I saw Closet Core came out with a couple patterns today as well. Anybody else know of any new patterns? Let's see. Let's put this. I'm gonna fit this in somewhere else. What else can I fit in here? I'm just gonna start with this. I'm really low on blades. I really need to get some more. Yeah, I love all these pattern pieces too. Yeah, when I opened it, I was like, oh boy. I get nervous about things too because mainly I'm like, oh, I hope I do a good job. Nothing goes wrong. Live camera, all that stuff. I think I want my smaller blade actually. But I love stuff like this. Like, I love all these details and things. I think this is going to be one of those really satisfying makes. I'm going to decide if we want to interface that one facing. Alright, so I'm just going to cut away a little bit. I have a fabric bin that I put fabric into. And then this one here. I almost ironed my tissue paper. I kind of wish I would have. Okay, we're going on the solid line. I got the easiest line to cut on. That was kind of happy for that. The solid line happened to be the one for me. After today's stream, I'll most likely take a little break, do a few things, and then I'm going to probably pop back on here because I got the envelopes I'm going to organize my patterns into. So if you guys want to hang out, it'll probably be later in the day. So I know some folks living in Europe might not be able to make it. So you only know of those two as well? Yeah. That's all I know of. We need to have our little, news report when we start. Let's get rid of this right here. All right, let's flip this. So doing the vertical stripes is probably a little easier than doing the horizontal stripes because I don't technically have to worry too much about matching my stripes going this way, which is really nice. There's a lot of markings on this one. If you want to match from bodice to skirt, well, I'm not sure. Would I really not cut the neckline here? Wow. You saw me cut that, right? I didn't cut right there. Hey, Sewing Trolley Dolly. How's it going? Welcome. We're cutting the Decades of Style 1940s New England dress. I think that that's not a right angle right there at the neck. That's why that did that weird little thing there. I'm going to do my markings on one layer. Wow, really, Nancy? That's crazy. I mean, I hope that's because everybody's getting their vaccine, My husband's work, they got notified by the county that they were released to all get their vaccine. I was kind of surprised by this, so was he. But I don't like leaning over in front of the camera, so it's always a really awkward angle to cut. There's a couple of wrinkles in this fabric. And then my daughter is a food service worker, so she is cleared as well. And I'm really glad because definitely she worries so much more than anybody I know about passing COVID on to somebody without knowing it, Okay, so is this my notch? Or is that my notch? This is my notch right here. Why does it go back this way? We're going to trust. I feel like I have used this pattern system before that they drafted this pattern in because I recognize these notches, and some pattern systems, especially at a certain era of them, I don't know if they've fixed this now, the notches were points that graded. So your notches sometimes would get really tall and some of them would get really short. It was kind of a weird little oversight. It's kind of funny though. So this is my dart, but it doesn't go all the way up to that line. Eek, that does. All right, so I've got this. I like doing a center notch at anything on the fold. We'll keep that with it just in case we need those. All right. Oh, thanks. They're just, these are just antiques. They're just kind of coincidentally meta. I've used them for a long time. They're they're just really satisfying, you know? They're really heavy. They're really flat. I love the handle. Makes them easy to grab. And you don't have to pay for shipping because they're usually like at an antique store or something. You just don't want them to be rusty, and you want to hold out for the ones with handles. They're far easier to find than it seems at first. Let's kind of check this out here. Check my stripes a little bit. It's a yarn dye, so a lot of these pieces, I'm definitely being a little more cavalier than maybe some people would be, especially with this fabric. This fabric has a lot of drape. It doesn't have the content, but it feels like it's like a linen rayon or something. It's crisp. It's crisp while having lots of drape. It's really cool fabric. I may need to get some of this fabric for a project myself. For me. Because this project goes to hearts once we're done. Shoot. It's going to be kind of a more tedious sewing, or cutting, sorry, not sewing, but cutting. Just so as you know. Let's look at that. How well did we do? Up here looks pretty good because all this with cross grain and length grain is going to stay pretty true. But this one looks a little different right here. If I let it naturally lay. This piece is just bigger. I don't like these weird little pieces. How about you guys? Like cutting them, I always feel like I could do better and better and better as far as the cutting goes. And I tend to be kind of a cavalier cutter. I'm not going to mark the center of that, but I'm going to mark the center up here. I don't need to match the center there. This is size 30. Oh, it's just for the... What does the sizes go? They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well, I don't know. This must just be a seam allowance juncture. That's all that looks like to me. We always find out later if I was wrong, right? See, these notches like this, when I see them on here, I'm going to notch it because this pattern has so many interesting elements, but that is probably just to like matching to the side seam, you know? Hi, Elena, how's it going? Really? That's weird, Penny. We have if we go to our state, like our county health here, or our state health, they have a site that you have to like tick a bunch of boxes and sign up, and then they're supposed to email you when you're eligible. So I'm on that, like I've signed up for that, but I'm in this massive category of 16 to 49-year-olds. With no other distinction. Like all the other categories around me are like, they have distinctions like high risk, or if you work in certain sectors, if you're, you know, in education or something. Me, I'm just vanilla. All right, so let's see here. We have this front here. Let's look at it like this. We got a lot of fabric. I feel like poor hearts, that one time they just accidentally didn't quite send us enough, and maybe it was because of the way I cut it, because I cut like this. We didn't have enough, and I feel like now they overcompensate a little bit. I feel bad. A lot of times I lay my pattern pieces out to figure out how much yardage it takes. I don't always trust the envelope, especially if it's a lot. Like certain patterns, if it says 6 yards, I'm like, I'm checking that. That's a lot of fabric, you know? I buy fabric that I want to have for the rest of my life. So sometimes it can get expensive, you know? All right, so we have this one here. Oops. There we go. This fabric's a little wiggly. It's not as wiggly as rayon since it's kind of crisp. Really? Oh, wow, Nancy. Ours are like, there's all kinds of different places. Every time I hear of someone got vaccinated, I'm like, wait, where did you go? Like, I didn't even know they were vaccinating people there. Now they're at our fairgrounds, which is where they have the test, and that's where I've gone for a test. But I didn't think they were operating there anymore. And my husband said there were so many volunteers there, and they were all just super pumped and excited. It was pretty cool. He said it was an amazing atmosphere. All right, so there's my center. I got all 4 sides there. We'll just notch this now since it's nice and flat. A little easier. See, this is what I understand. This line right here is solid. And that's my size line. I have a feeling the darts may be a little connected to the wrong line. Because see how this line right here, can you see this even? Oh, you can't even see because I'm off the camera a little bit. And let me see if it's zoomed in a little too far. I zoomed in a little bit. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. Let's see here. I have it zoomed in. Oh, no, I don't have it zoomed in. Wow. Well, shiver me timbers. I'll just move it over a little bit. But this dart right here, on the smallest size, the line ends right here, and this is the cut line. So this line right here is mine, and it ends on this size. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Wing it. $30. So ours is about right here. That's the buttonhole. Oh, there is a buttonhole. Oh, nice, Elena. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. There's probably churches getting involved as well. A lot of times that's how I mark holes. I just poke my pin through. And I know where the pin went in is where the marking was. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. The allergies are so bad around here right now. I take allergy medicine, but I'm not as hit as hard as other people. I really feel for people. It's bad right now. This used to be the table that was behind me at the old studio, and I have 2 of them, so I put them together. So there's I don't know, you can't see, there's a crack right here. And there's a crack right here, and I keep thinking I'm gonna go over the crack. Hi, Ray, you made it. Nice to see you. You remember that, Ray? That's pretty cool that you remember that. What is the vaccine that Do you guys remember, some of you who are older, because I don't have it, but like when I was a sibling, or not sibling, when I was younger, there was that vaccine that left the round mark on your arm. I don't have that mark, but people in my high school had it. So it just depends. Like they were phasing it out by the time we were little, I think. Which one was that? Gosh, imagine a vaccine that's a sugar cube. They'd get the world vaccinated. Right? Well, there's definitely lots of people who have valid concerns that maybe they don't want to get it. I understand their trepidation. But there's a lot of folks that are scared of needles, so I feel for those folks. I am too, but I'm going to power through. All right, so I'm going to mark the center right here at the waist and at the back. Ray, thank you. Love it. It was smallpox. Hey, Zach, how's it going? Oh, really, Lisa? I thought it was polio as well. Yeah, right, Allison? I think they do. I think they do talk about it on Outlander. All right, I have this little piece here. What could I fit in here? This is cut on the fold, and they're pockets. Fun stuff. What is this one? On the fold. Cut 2. Let's do that. When I have pieces like this, I try and get the biggest, like weird shapes. I try and get the biggest piece possible. Yeah, right, Lisa? It's like, yeah, the arm dots, Nancy, exactly. Yeah, so it's like, I feel like when I was a kid was when it was going one way or the other. Yeah, so Ray, my alert sounds are gone. I can't fix it. So sorry you don't get the cool notification. Oh wow, Derek, vaccinator. I like that word. All right, so I could do this one here, and then maybe this one here. Right? Now, this is the front bodice yoke, right? I'm cutting 2. I need to look and see how this goes. Oh, okay. So this is this right here. I was like, wait, doesn't this come together in the middle? So look at that right there. See the neckline right here? So I'm pretty sure right here we're looking at this right here. So do I try and match stripes? Can we match some stripes? Let's see. When I laid this pattern piece on it, it didn't look like it lined up. Like you might have to do some sewing on it to get it to fit over the bodice. All right, so what I could do is draw the stripes on here if I want to worry about that. That's a lot to worry about. So if I line up my side seam above the dart to this one right here, and then I try and keep this nice and straight. So what we could do is go like this. We could put this on a line of the table, right? This stripes seems kind of big enough to worry about. I'm just seeing if this is parallel to a line on the table. Like that. Smallpox arm dot. Sugar cube is polio. Yeah, you're a know-it-all. And Serena's like, it's for TB. TB, they still give TB. Like, that's the, yeah, they still give TB. And that, right? Because I've had to be checked for that when I worked in a high school. We'll do our best to do our stripes. I'm going to do them parallel to this line here, just to reiterate it. Oh, shoot. At least we can see through the tissue. Okay, so that's my, we'll do our best to match stripes. Yeah, so this goes on top of this right here. And then this is what's poking up in that picture right here underneath. And this little bib, it sits right here. And then this bib has a facing behind it. So technically you don't have to worry about your stripes there if you're having trouble with the amount of fabric you have on hand. It'd just be a nice touch if your stripes and plaid or whatever match, you know? Only treatment. Okay. Oh, yeah. We're all learning so much. Okay, how far does that go over? All right, so we want our red lines to be on stripes. When I was in college, they said that for stripes like this, I don't think they do this anymore. They probably do this in like really high fashion custom houses. They nail the fabric to the table at the stripes to make them stay put. They also will print the fabric or print the fabric picture on the pattern pieces at scale, or they'll tape, like we would tape or glue cut fabric to the pattern piece. But honestly, we would do everything in our power to not have a fabric that we had to match in production, because it was such a colossal fabric waste for being we weren't a budget brand, but we weren't a brand that could sustain like the cost it would take, you know? Yeah, Penny, exactly. I did too. You get a TB test. And so then they poke you for that. I was pretty affronted by it and kind of, I was like, what? Wait a minute. Why do I have to be tested? Okay, so let's see. Do we want to put this like right here? Or do we want to put it like this? Go over here more. What could we do with this piece? We could do this cuff right here. So that would fit pretty good. And then we still have this little back neck facing, which will fit right there. So yeah, let's go for that. Just gonna put that so it doesn't fall off the table. And we need to hold this aside so we don't cut into it. Hey Terry, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. I was like, why do I have to be tested? Why don't they have to be tested? It was more the inconvenience because of where I had to go to do it was kind of a trek. Because I had to go to the county, and the county was pretty far away from me. Like the county seat, you know, for public health. I lived in a pretty small town there too. All right, let's see here. Let's cut this a little better here. I feel like these would be good to notch right here. I didn't do it on that one, but because this is a fold line right here, you'd want to know where this meets this point up here. Sorry, it's a little crooked, huh? I want to be buggy. Do you think like that shadow? No, that's maybe it's okay. Yes, exactly, Ray. I had to go back and get it. Yeah, it was kind of a. It was like any time I had to do a jury duty, it was so far away. And I had to be there so early. They don't know me. Wait, why is this so far? Wait a minute. Did I shift that? Let's turn this way. Oh, okay. Did that look for you like it was a big difference? All of a sudden I thought this was down here. Alrighty, I wanted to get these 3 notches here, and I'm gonna mark the fold. I can't really tell if this fabric has a right or a wrong side, to be honest, so I want to say this side has more black showing, and this is light. All right. This one is a 28 millimeter, Derek. I frequently do use the 45, so this is the 28 and this is the 45, and these are the only 2 sizes I have. I know people use the 60 millimeter, but I can't imagine. It just seems kind of big for me. So this was what my primary size for years. And then when I hired Rayanne, she was like, I had one of these and she was like, are you kidding? And she was right. I needed to get bigger because we were doing so many layers. So I feel like with thicker fabrics and ones without lots of little nooks and crannies, this works great. For anything, like curves are great with this little guy. It's more maneuverable. And you can kind of get into those little tighter spots a little easier. And it's 28 millimeter. So you don't see me use this, to be honest, anymore as much. But this fabric is pretty thin. And because of all the swoops and kind of inverted corners, I felt like that would be a good choice. And it was. I immediately was like, oh, that other one's too big. So yeah. I'm going to cut that off for that. Let's see, will this stripe here work? That stripe will work. Cool. I'm going to do this one on the fold because I think I can handle it. Can I handle it or not, you know? You couldn't shower. Wow, I blocked that part out yeah, so Derek, are you new to rotary cutting? Well, you tried it for the first time. Yeah, I agree. It is very awkward, and some of my tips for using it is when I'm using it, I'm not looking right here where the blade is touching the fabric. You want to look in front of it where you want it to go. And I don't know if you've ever heard my mountain biking analogy, but that's what I think of it as. You don't look at the pothole because that's not where you want your tire to go. This is what you learn when you're a mountain biker. I used to be a mountain biker, a very, very amateur one. Oh, 18. Yeah, that 18 millimeter is so cute. Yeah, it's great for paper and no thicknesses. Yeah, so, oh, it does. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I just added affiliate links to my thing, so you can check it out there. There are Amazon, and I admit I have my I have some qualms with Amazon, but at the same time, I know how useful they are, and they're actually pretty useful for where we live. Everything's sold out where I live lately, too. So there is a link to the 45. I don't know if I put the 28 in there because I was thinking, I don't know. But I found them on Amazon. I put links to all kinds of stuff I use on camera in the description. But so when you're first using it, I look where I want the blade to go, because I obviously don't want to go in, off of the line. I don't want to go into the pothole. And so it's great to kind of get used to that. I also know that I know, like, I have a lot of experience with these. I've had these since they came out, and I've actually, full disclosure, have gone to hand therapy because of this little guy, because I used it a lot. So I know their blades are really expensive, but this is my little like PSA for you guys to change your blade often. Keep it sharp so you're not pressing really hard. It's an extremely unergonomic position because when you're doing it, your hand is broken right here. So when I'm doing it, this is what it looks like, right? And from the camera angle, it looks probably kind of straight, but it's not. So when I raise up my hand, I put lotion on. I'm not really made of wax. You can see my hand is going this way, but naturally, this is how you want this line to stay on your body. And you can't when you're using one of these. They sell ergonomic versions of this, and they are not ergonomic for that reason. And that is the reason I had trouble. And it goes all the way up to my neck. So just change your blade often. Take breaks. Do some stretches in between. I know I sound like, the classic PSA. But if you are a professional doing this and you're doing it a lot, make sure that you get some aids. Hi, Adina. Hi, Leia. Yeah, well, I wasn't live for like 6 weeks or something while I moved. Maybe a month. Nice, Nancy. I even put my industrial machine as a link. Yeah, so Derek, it does take some getting used to. Don't use pins unless you really need to, but get some good weights. I like having a few different sizes. One of my favorite ones, I think it's at home, is a little tiny antique iron, and that's one of my favorites. I like having a little small one around. But I think if you have some good weights, there's tons of weights out there, and I will tell you a lot of them are just not heavy enough. The ones that are cute, the ones that are logoed, whatever, they're just not heavy enough. A lot of people use washers. Like washers from the hardware store. My problem with those is they're hard to grab, but they're probably a really affordable thing to do. So I would just look for something like soup cans. People use soup cans. I had a friend that made her own weights, and she filled them with popcorn, not popped corn. And then she ended up having a mouse infestation in her studio. So you gotta be careful what you fill those stupid little bean bags with. Oh, that was you, Leia. Yeah. Cool. Oh, bacon presses. Oh, that's a really good tip, Terry. Because they look like this, don't they? I think if you can get free shipping on something like this, it's great. But if you have to pay for shipping based on weight, then you're probably I like the antique store option. They cost the same. These are not cheap because they're antiques. Trust me. They're like $15 to $25 each. But the funny thing is, if people see you buy those and use them, they'll start buying them for you. They'll just appear in your life. People are like, oh, I was at the antique store the other day and I saw this. And then they get you So don't buy too many because I feel like that will happen for you too. Maybe it's a very nice gift. Yeah, you could use cat litter. Get like a non-dusty kind of cat litter. or get most of the dust off. Oh, right, Leia. That's awesome. Yeah, I had to do that too. The separate account thing. I'm sorry I'm taking forever to do this. We haven't had a cutting stream in a while, and this one's a little tricky, so I'm just trying to pay attention. I have a lot of fabric, though. All right, so let's see. We have left sleeves, pockets, 1 cuff, and 2 skirts. All right. All right. You have 2 of those rectangular ones from Amazon. These right here. Ooh, sorry. You have washers. Oh, that's smart, Elena. Oh, that's right. Nancy has a magnet mat. So, Elena, you know, the other thing I've done, because I have this kind. So so you know how I'm always saying buy the one with the handle? So this one doesn't have a handle. This is an antique iron as well. It's one of the first ones I bought. In fact, this is paint from like one of my studios. So do you see the taper that the base here? It's pretty heavy. I'm like, that's tapered like this. So now what I figured out after probably 20 years of having this is I turn it upside down. Now it's easy to grab. So before, when it was like this, I would do this all the time and I couldn't grab it. So frustrating. I even have taped a fabric handle to it. This. Oh, that's great, Derek. There you go. Yeah, and Waywack is another good source, I think. So, oh, okay, giant ceramic buttons. Like buttons? Are they breakable? Not that I ever dropped these things. I think I weighed these and they weigh about 5 pounds each. That's quite a bit. So I always say go for the hand. This is like my favorite kind. I really like the point because I can get up to a corner, you know, like this. Like this. And there's less around it. But, you know, you can do that with this too. It's just sometimes this point is going like this. And this does, I utilize that a lot. Yeah, magnet mat. Ask Nancy about that. I forgot you have that, Nancy. That's pretty cool. All right. What do I want to cut next? I have quite a bit of fabric still. Will I have enough for long sleeves, though? I think I'm going to go to the other end and start cutting skirts. So this is pretty wide. I think you're going to have an easier time cutting this fabric out, or this pattern out, if you pick fabric that's like 58 inches wide. The 45-inch wide fabrics, for some of the larger sizes, you'd have to piece the angle of the skirt. I'll tell you what I mean in just a second. So you may end up having the issue where your skirt right here, this little corner, doesn't make it like this, right? So look how wide this is. So your corner hangs off like that. And then what you end up having to do is piecing a piece there. I've done this before. It's not a big deal, but it's just something to bear in mind. If you're really in love with the fabric, go for it. Just buy enough, you know? Oh, really, Elena? See, I was wondering, how are hers? Those are so cool. Are they heavy then? They look really nice. I wanted to buy some from her, but I honestly just don't need any more weights. And more weights is not really better. You just need the number you need. I really only need like 4 or 5. Now that I only have 1 table as well, I really don't need doubles. You know, before I was like, okay, well, I have some extras. Like my parents one day showed up with a box of a bunch of irons, but there are all these ones that don't have handles, and the inside is hollow out, and they were rusty. So I've just been using them as doorstops. Oh, pennies. Oh, Derek, that's a good idea. I don't know about in Scotland, but here in the U.S., pennies are becoming more and more useless. I don't want to say useless because I have this. I'm not very superstitious, but one of my superstitions is I never throw away pennies away. You know, like when you're throwing, like cleaning out the junk drawer or you're moving and you're getting to that point in your move where you're just like, screw it. I'm throwing all this away. I don't need it. I don't want to deal with it. I won't throw away pennies, even if there's 3 of them in there. It's my one superstition. I just feel like that's the epitome of, you know, I don't know. Just don't. I feel like I would hear my mom's voice. Maybe I did it once and she was like, what are you doing? Oh yeah, the DIY style cutting. Well, so how big is the mat, Nancy? All right, so let's see. This one's on the fold. And I'm just going to do the flippy thing. Sorry. You know, I don't want my stripes to look weird. Because you can tell this fabric is a little loosey-goosey. Like, I can make it do what I want. Which means it can do whatever it wants. So let's, I need some pins, though. I have like 3. Where are my pins? There we go. Now when I have to sprint off camera, I really don't have to go far. Yeah, the felt backing. I actually added them to my square ones. The square ones, the rectangles, these are here. These are actually, this is what they're for. They are for the garment making world. That's what these come from. I added felt to mine, which this one came off. But it looks like it used to be there because it was rusting. Yeah, that's true, Derek. Good point. I feel like I don't want to fill a charity box with pennies, though. I want to give them more. Yeah, Nancy, I think it's really easy to do, you know. When you're cleaning out your car, you're vacuuming and sucking up everything, and you're like, oh, well, pennies. But if you live in a town with meters, you would never do that if it was a quarter. Why am I pinning this? Here we are talking about weights, and I'm sitting here pinning stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, so let's the other thing I would say, Derek, when you start your rotary knife adventure is get the biggest mat you can afford, because that makes your life just, it's a quality of life issue. This mat's pretty small. It's custom made for this table. But I have 4x8 sheets that I really like. That's my preferred. But if you don't have the luxury of having a table that big, always set up, I feel ya. I understand that. I ended up putting one in my garage when I moved here. I was like, I got rid of 2 4x8 tables. They're not actually fancy tables or anything. They were just, I don't think there's any pockets on this pattern. They were just shelves with 4x8 sheets on them. All right, so I'm going to flip this over. That distorts the fabric the least when I do it like that. This fabric, I could probably, I'm thinking that I should have turned this upside down because I might have been able to get the other one a little bit, like even just a few inches up here. Oh, totally, Nancy, yeah. Now kids are like, I only want to find a $20 bill. Have you ever been to an amusement park and your kid does find something like that? I've seen that happen a few times. Like to people I don't know, to people I'm kind of in a big group with, to my kid once, I think my brother. I feel like people do that on purpose to help kids out. And then they like wait to see them do it, find it. I would like to think that that's what's going on. All right, don't cut along the fold there. They're like filming a Mr. Beast video or something. Very awkward. Oh my goodness. Awkward cutting. Where's Sarah me? All right. You don't carry cash anymore, Dina? Yeah, I was just telling someone the other day that I sold a few things, so I have some cash, and I need to get it in my bank account because every time I open my wallet, I'm like, well, that's right, I have cash, and I'm like, oh, you need to put this in the bank. And the other weird thing is sometimes I'll have cash in my wallet and I'll have it in there for like 6 months forgetting it's there because it's like pushed down so far. And then when I find it, I'm like, oh yeah. It's like I'm so used to not using it. All right, so look at this big piece. That right there, I should have done the skirts first. I don't have the luxury of space to lay out all my pieces and lay them down and cut. So this fabric is wide enough. I could have gotten a whole bodice right here. You know what I mean, jelly beans? I can get my pockets are going to fit here, which is great. I don't feel like I've wasted too much space or too much fabric here, but definitely could have been a better use of fabric. If I can get both of these here, then I'll feel a lot better. So I think I'm going to be okay there. I'm not going to cut this off, though. I'm going to leave it awkwardly on here and cut my other skirt out. But, yeah. Hello, Delta. Welcome. Oh, it's early in the morning for you. Thanks for coming. Sometimes Lou's here from New Zealand. I know she gets up early. Okay, so we have our front. So one thing I just didn't even think about was matching my stripes. I did put my center on a center stripe, so we're in pretty good shape, but that's something to think about. Also, this actually doesn't get sewn to the waist, I don't think. No. Okay, so what you have to think about if you're matching stripes is, do you see that there's a space between this bib skirt here? So it's those pocket pieces. Those are actually your top waist. So they're not just pocket pieces, they're your top waist and they are exposed. One's probably the top pocket, which lines the front skirt. I'm going to guess that. Let's see. I'm going to guess that one of these is the top pocket. And one of these, yeah, so this is the waist. And what did I do with that piece? This is a sleeve cuff. I feel like I was just seeing it go off the side of my table, and that probably is what happened. Well, shoot. Well, shoot. Oh, there's a skirt over here, too. So yeah, so this piece right here, which is the pocket facing, yeah. So this is actually probably going right here, and it's the top skirt facing, maybe. Maybe not. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, like this. Oh, maybe there's some gathers right here. Wait. This is going to be so fun. Okay. This is what I think. This is what I think is going on here. Like this. Like that. I'm not quite. So then this goes probably to this piece here. And then this is your pocket. So you're wanting to match this if you want to match anything, if you have a pattern. You have, Lisa? Oh my gosh. That's like a time capsule. Wow. Oh, Nancy, if you want a big sheet. Yeah. The Magnet Mat is only 25 by 36, and it's really helpful for all the small fiddly pieces. Yeah. Yeah, this right here is 30 inches deep. So that's why it's kind of fiddly. All right, so this, if this helps some of you plan your fabric. So this gets sewn to the bodice. This does not. And this piece doesn't show. Okay. Planning. Best you can. And, you know, like if you're doing a big, maybe a big floral or a print that you might want to continue the print going onto the skirt. Okay. All right. So speaking of weights, let's weight these little guys down. The other thing I'll say, Derek, about when you're new to embroidery blades is when you start realizing how expensive the blades are, you're probably going to start thinking about trying to sharpen them. And if you come up with a great way to do it that works, let us know, because I haven't found any luck with those sharpeners you can buy. Anyone else here? I've gone through thousands of blades. I don't get a deal on them as... I never got a deal with them on as a factory. Yeah, Ray, you know, that's a good idea, actually, to cut that on the cross grain. Ooh, I kind of want the upper bodice to be that way, too, now. Gosh, I think I thought about this like a month ago. Interesting. Think I'll have enough? Maybe, maybe not. All right, so I'm gonna cut this one out now. Yeah, that's smart, Terry. I'm trying to get this to stop pulling off the table. There's so much fabric over there. Yeah, exactly. So we could do the stripes going on underneath the bib on both. I like that idea. All right, so this one here, to get it, I need to be on that stripe there. Do you really, Nancy? That's good to know. My problem is that I will... Did I just see a flicker? Or is that me? I will touch the blade on something and then the blade's just pretty much ruined. They're so fragile. I'll touch my weights. I mean, it's better than touching me, right? I am having a lot of trouble. I'm just going to pull this close to me so I can get it onto this stripe. I like buying the blades in 10 packs. That's my preferred way. I find that's a lot cheaper. And I don't also buy any other brand but Olfa. I've tried the imitation ones, and some of them were already like dinged, like right out of the package. But I see really good reviews for them, so I'm kind of surprised. What am I doing? So, I don't know. Maybe those reviews were planted there. I don't know what to think anymore. Why is this one so awkward? That's really good to know. I just saw some of those yesterday and thought about it again, and I was like, I might try that then. I don't go through nearly as many as I used to, which is great. Okay. Oh, my other rotary knife tip. Derek's like, I didn't even ask for tips, Sarami. Is always cut with the blade towards your garment like this. I know I'm not doing that right now, but it's far more accurate. And I'm looking right here, like an inch in front. To have the blade facing what you're cutting, because you can see the contact and it's more accurate. See, like this is too hard for me, because if you're only using weights to hold your stuff down, it's kind of hard to pick it up and move it without getting a little bit of discrepancy when you lay it back down, especially on a fabric like this that's a little bit loosey-goosey. Oh, really? How thick was mine? For the Kelly Anorak, really lightweight. It's the Essex linen. So when I have ordered waxed cotton, I've ordered it 3 times. Twice from the same person, and they were on eBay, and it was Al Francis Textiles. And I got 10 ounces both times, and they're both very different. I think 8 ounces is good. I wouldn't go heavier than that for sure. You may even find it to be kind of heavy. It kind of breaks in as you use it. It's really impossible to get away from that kind of rumpled look. I'm thinking about looking into getting the otter wax that I can brush on now. I'm worried that it's not going to be as waterproof as I want it to be, after all that work. You know me, I'm always willing to sacrifice for the sake of an experiment. For you guys and for me. Wait, am I on a different stripe right here? What the heck? Oh, no, that's just pulled. Okay. It just gave me a little bit of a panic there. Okay, we're on this stripe. We're on this stripe. Move over here, please. Get on that stripe. Stripe. Okay. Alright, let's mark my center, which is this stripe right here. Mark the, whoops, not 46. I want this one, 1, 2. I think I marked 3 on my last one, when I flipped it. I may need to look at that when I'm sewing. Yeah, I'm wondering that too, Adina. I like that rumpled look too. I didn't used to, but now I've grown to love it. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, totally. And I'm totally happy to share those tips too. I think, you know, whatever you have learned and haven't learned when you're new to it, it's just kind of foreign. And rotary knifing it's kind of not any other thing you do is like that. You know? What else do you do that is kind of that motion besides cut a pizza? Okay. It looks like I have enough for long sleeves. So that's good. Yeah, totally, Adina. So I'm wondering too, Adina, if I can add another layer of wax, and I want to contact them. I find their website to be a little too pretty. The FAQs leave a little bit to be desired. Or maybe the FAQs are not the ones I wanted. All right, so Ray's idea of doing cross stripes. I like this idea. What do you guys think? I like this idea a lot. So let's look and see what our sleeves are going to take up at this end. Because I wouldn't mind doing the bodice too. You know? That's true, Adina. Okay, so here's one. We can actually get this into this spot right here. Oh no, we can't. Wait, where's the grain line? There's the grain line. You know, right there. So that takes up this. And then this one is gonna have to go over there. I'm just kind of roughly finding out what I have left. Okay, so if I put this sleeve over here, did I do that one face down? Okay, either way, I'm gonna have to do it either face down or right side up. So that's that. So this is my spot right here. Could I get a bodice right there? The underbib bodice. Is this it? It's the weird one. Sorry, I'm being mean calling it weird. Okay. Yeah, I think we can. Look at that. Ooh, Ray. Good thinking. Okay. So we're going to do vertical cross grain stripes. Well, you know, Adina, I looked a ton on Instagram and I looked at their hashtags and other people's profiles, and this is kind of what I mean by about it's a little too pretty. I feel like while I think it's extremely functional and useful and it works, that otter wax does, but a lot of the accounts that you're seeing are doing the photographs for a certain aesthetic. Kind of that, like, it's beautiful too. Like, don't get me wrong. It's really beautiful. And you see my stuff looks so derpy in all of their other hashtags, you know, because mine's a little more, like, modern and colorful. When theirs is very, like, you know, rustic and wood and leather everywhere, you know, except for, you know, what they're waxing. So I didn't find anybody talking about a comparison between their two products or what they've used each. They just say so-and-so re-waxing their blah, blah, blah. That's about it. And I know one of you talked about how some waxes can be highly flammable. So I looked a little into that, but I haven't looked at YouTube videos that I remember. And maybe I didn't find anything. Have you found something? Is that why you're saying that? Or are you just wondering the same thing? Okay, so we have a ton of fabric here to do those pockets. So let's do that. What pattern are you going to do, Adina? I'm excited you're going to do a raincoat. That's pretty cool. I wanted my jacket to be kind of lightweight and breathable. And you know, is it technically breathable if I'm gonna like laminate it with wax? You know, I know that's kind of a stretch. Where's the other one? Am I looking right at it? Oh, I am looking right at it. Okay, this is the bigger one. But I think that linen I used, I knew it was a little bit open weave, and I did wash and dry it. I didn't wash and dry the lining because the jacket's never gonna get washed. And I was like, well, I'll just maintain this, how nice the fabric print is by not washing it. So, okay, I can get this on here. I can do it. I'm wondering if doing the more liquid wax that you brush on would really permeate the fabric. And the reason I did the lined version was because I kind of expected some of the wax to transfer to the back side of the fabric, and I didn't want that against my skin. Not because of an irritation thing, but honestly, I just didn't think it'd be very comfortable. You know, as someone from like the outerwear, waterproof, breathable industry, I just think about how we always likened a non-waterproof breathable fabric or non-breathable fabric would feel like a trash bag, and it does because your skin just starts sweating. You just start sweating even if you're not hot because you can't. There's just no airflow, you know. And I kind of thought, well, if I do this wax and it kind of permeates the fabric a little bit, am I putting myself in that situation where I'm going to make my fabric, you know, make me sweat? So yeah, I'll be dry from the rain, but I'll be wet inside my jacket. You know? It's like, okay, what's the point of that? This is on the fold. So did I get this piece out of right there? All right, so let's see. This is my notch. I think there's only 2 notches in here. I got confused because of the other one had 30 and a 46. I swear there's 2 notches though, right there. I'll have to see what this is for when we go to sew it. I've never seen a bow tie mark. So that might be essential. I don't really keep my pattern pieces with my cut fabric usually, but I am today. That's for sure. I'm a little shy over here. You're not gonna do the otter wax thing, so you don't have to worry about that actually. So I guess in some ways, you might be setting yourself up for a better, for better waterproofness, you know? I saw one of the bigger indie stores selling a waxed fabric. I honestly just didn't want to have to sew a garment in already waxed fabric either. You might need a Teflon foot, Adina. Just in case. You might need a Teflon foot. All right, we're just going to keep this piece with this, and I'm going to do my notches later. Probably when we're at the sewing machine, so I make sure I get what I need. I don't want anything to get stretched out, so I'm going to keep it all together. You guys literally just watched me cut that incorrectly. My first day on the job here. Wham! Okay. I want the stripes going this way. This is when I wish, you know, we were like in a Twitch chat and you guys could spam emotes. Because you would be thinking it was funny. All right. I was so careful to put that on a stripe, wasn't I? Come on. I'm counting on you guys. I really want to cut 2 of this too. It just feels so lightweight. Oh, perfect, Adina. Yeah, you might need it. You might find it helpful. I don't like sewing with that Teflon foot, but it works really good. It's really thick, you know? Like the foot itself is really thick. It's not a big deal. It's just one of those things that always feels weird. See these 2, I think there's 2 notches here and 1 here. Yeah, double notch. Ah, let's read. Okay. This is when if you're the pattern company you're sewing their pattern for is watching, they're just like, oh my God, this girl. Oh, Derek, I have some tips for cutting these kinds of corners too. It's kind of hard to show it on this particular pattern, but I'll try. I do it a lot for, I'm just looking at my stripes here. This one goes up and then 2. It goes to up to here. Like that. One, 2. It doesn't look as straight right here to me, but I'm gonna go for the stripes so that the waist doesn't look uneven. Right. No, it's okay. It's not your fault. Okay, so these kinds of corners, Derek, right here. So when you have these, like this interior corner, they can be kind of tricky. And so when I do it on bags and things, I'm generally tracing the pattern pieces onto the fabric, which really helps. Because then what I would do, you know, is I would lift up this right here. So I lift this up and then I clear the way to go this way, and I would be facing the pattern, you know, like this. And then I go this way like that, and I get this out of the way, and then now I have my corner cut right there. So that's one of the things you are going to find the trickiest is doing those interior corners. I have a catch in my blade now because I just touched something. Well, bugger it. Okay. And so, you know, because this is one layer of fabric and it's really thin, these interior corners are as big of an issue, because if I don't get it, I can actually just pull it away a little bit and just kind of press on it until I do. And I'm kind of pulling it away and just getting the fibers that are still stuck. I don't know, Adina. I guess because I want people to be able to see what piece I'm cutting. But yeah, that's what I would normally do. Just turn over the fabric. So then you can line up. Like what Adina is saying is true. I'll show you. Because if you're doing stripes like this or not doing stripes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Adina's right. So you can line up your stripes on the fabric directly and see. In fact, you'll sometimes get a weird illusion that looks like it's not there. But it does help to cut it like that. All right. Cutting everything twice. No, we're not. Yeah, Adina, you're absolutely right. You have a thick and thin. Ooh, and a Teflon zip. Fancy. Look at you. Hey, Barbara. How's it going? Always get all your pins off the table too, Derek, because that's one way to ruin a blade really quick. Okay, so we have the sleeve fabric here still. And where do I have the biggest weirdo fabric piece? Probably here. I actually might be able to get the front here. Look at that. We have a lot of fabric here. We have a lot of fabric. Cool. How are you, Barbara? How's it going? I'm gonna recut my bodice now because it's more important than the pocket facing since it shows. Okay. So we're gonna do this with cross stripes. Are you guys getting dizzy yet? It does do some weird stuff with the camera, doesn't it? Ooh, this one rolls so much better than my other one. That little guy is, I think, a little sticky with the oil from the new blade still. Ooh, this is kind of, could get away from me. We'll do Adina's suggestion. Especially with this kind of loosey-goosey fabric, can really just position it on there and make sure. Can't even see it on there, can you? Yeah, Penny, I don't ever pin when I use the rotary cutter. The only reason I'm doing it today is to pin on that fold line. Yeah, I don't even put my pin cushion on the table because, yeah, it's definitely a thing. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this. And put this. I'm going to do my notches at the machine. All right. Now we have just 3 pieces. So we have our cuff. And I got these vertical stripes for the cuff, but really it should be this way, right? What was I thinking of doing that? On the cuff, would you want your stripes to go, you'd want your stripes to go around, right? There's a grain line. Follow that. I'm just making some room over here. We're making Barbara the 1940s New England dress, and I'm just now recutting a couple pieces because Ray had a great suggestion of making this fabric that's behind the bib here and on the here horizontal stripes. And I'm gonna do the long sleeve version just so we have that sewing option available for folks. And this is sponsored by Hearts, which is great. Yeah, Terry, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I get so focused on the what fits where. Bias cuffs, ooh, you know, do you remember? I've done bias cuffs twice on camera at least. I did it on my bow top in the blue and white check. And I did it on something else. What was the other thing I did it on? So this is what I'll say about bias cuffs. I think they're great because I love the way the print looks on those bias cuffs. But if you're going to do that, put it in pieces. Don't put it on, don't make it so that your cuff will fold. Cut 2 cuffs and put seam allowance for the seam here and then piece your 2 cuffs together. And the reason I say that is because if you put this piece on the bias like this, so that the stripes would look like you know. So look at the stripes through this cuff here, and that's how these stripes would be, right? So the problem with this is this edge here where your cuff is folded, it gets kind of bigger than where the cuff is sewn to the garment. And when I'm wearing that bow top has these huge armholes and cuffs, and I already took a ton off of them. And I like the cuff because it's really cute. But at the same time, I should have pieced the cuff together because it looks a little Star Trek-y. Like I get a little flare. So if you do that, I love the idea of that. I would put a seam here. So you stabilize both edges of your cuff. Yeah, I think it is a very 1940s thing to do, Leia. I totally agree with you. All right, so we still have this little piece, and we have this on the fold here. Let's just do our sleeve, and then we'll know what we have left. So we have a ton of fabric left. Look at all this fabric. I wasn't worried. Were you worried? I might try and cut this one out both at the same time because they don't need to match each other. You know what I mean? Maybe I could pull this down here. I added a couple of new commands, and I can't think of what they are now. That's so funny. I can't think of what they are. All right. Grain line on the stripe. Ooh, we're doing 2 layers at once. I feel so risky. No, you don't have to do that, Terry. That's nice of you. Where do you buy your tools at? Do you buy them like on Waywack, somewhere like that? Or did you buy your stuff from a dealer? I feel like you answered this yesterday or Saturday. Okay. This is because, can you see this fold? It's because I'm pulling this edge down here. You can't even see what I'm doing. Why am I way over here? I think that's where I'm used to standing on my table. Huh. I do too, Barbara. I love bias stripes. And I definitely don't regret doing it on that shirt. I just wish I would have thought about that. Because I didn't think it was going to be an issue because I interfaced them with Fusible. Ah, thanks, Terry. I have a different address now, so we should chat. Yeah, because my address is all messed up here. I haven't told you guys about that. I don't actually have a real address here. I don't have an address yet. Like, even my landlord can't send me something. That's the terms I had to put it to them in. I'm like, you realize I don't actually, like, you can't send me anything, right? They were like, yeah, we'll go to the post office tomorrow. I was like, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to just pay to get a P.O. box because I don't really want to use my home address for obvious reasons. I don't mind a few of you knowing it, but I don't really want it out in the world. A quick change screw. Oh. That's cool. You can do that? Ooh, you guys are becoming better experts on my machine than me, and I love it. Tell me all the good stuff. All right, actually, I want to keep all of these. There's a lot of markings on this sleeve. Hello. All right, so it looks like you stitch. That's interesting. This isn't a slit. It looks like a dart. So I don't think I've ever done a placket like that before. Usually it's a slit. Oh, like a straight slit. I know this is a slit still. Maybe this is at an angle. Oh, here it is. I'm like, where? I just saw this page. Okay. Oh, you make a facing. Wait a minute. They don't tell you how to finish the placket. Let's see here. Oh, here it is right here. Long sleeves. Sorry. Oh, okay. So you make a facing. All right. So this is good. We're checking this out right now. We need a piece of fabric that's 3 by 5 inches. 2 of them. Oh, Terry, that's really cool. Yeah, see, that's like my home machine. That'll be so great. I wish I could do it for the needle. This shows mine right here. Oof. Don't get lost in the sauce here, people. These are darts, I think. I don't know what that is, but I'll just notch it anyway. Why aren't you? Because they're too far away? Is that why you didn't get cut? That is really cool. I didn't know you could do that, Terry. That makes sense. That seems like something that they should have always had, because that's a time-saving feature for someone using it in an industrial capacity too, you know? Right, Lisa? Okay, so I think the merits to a facing are how clean the opening will look. But see, I saw this picture right here, and I was all, that looks like hand sewing. And we all know how I feel about hand sewing. Okay. Yeah, you slip stitch it in place. Huh. Well, we're going to remain true to the pattern on this. Only because of the era. No, I would be like, oh, here's a different way to do this. You know, that might be a little speedier, faster, more secure, more stable, whatever the reasoning. I'm going to leave it this way, but yes. Okay. So, I meant to look, are these darts or pleats? They're darts. Okay. Yeah. My problem with facings is I feel like sometimes they're really tricky to get to lay nice and flat. But I do appreciate how clean it will look, you know. You placket snobs. I'm just gonna blame you guys. I am so flippin' hot in this office. I don't get it. You guys, I'm in an office. There's 9 other suites. Nobody is here. Every time I walk in, it's 70 degrees out there in the lobby. Nobody's here. I walked into one of the empty offices the other day that's for rent, It had to be 84 in there. I come in, I tried to put it at 55 all weekend. I came in on Tuesday morning, it was still 65 in here. Nancy, I know. Like, what? Who slip stitches anymore? I'm just teasing. No, I'm not a hand sewing snob. I'm just a little lazy. I'm actually getting better at it. I'm starting to appreciate it more, but yeah, I am definitely can we machine sew this at any cost type of gal. I admit that. All right, I marked all my darts. Did I mark both of those? Yep, I marked both of those. All right. This is going to be a fun one to sew. How many times have I said that? Okay. Yeah, mine never look flat. Exactly. I know. Oh, really, Terry? Yeah, I am not always hot. After living in Humboldt for so long and being always cold, it's wet and cold there. I moved here and I'm instantly like cold doesn't affect me, you know? Like when I'm cold, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm cold. Like it's like a revelation now. Especially in bed, you know, like lately, I don't know what happened, but we got 2 down comforters a couple of years ago, like twins, because when we got the new bed, we got a king size bed and we got 2 twins and we didn't know what we were doing. We've never had a king size bed. This thing's gigantic for us. So we got it and we got the twin comforters and we've been using them. And lately I'm like, what is wrong with these things? Like my husband had a down comforter when I met him. I had a down comforter when I met him. We each had a queen size down comforter. And we have used these things since before we met, you guys. Like I've known him since my 20s, right? Like since my 26th birthday. I met him like a week before. So I have now known him almost longer. Like I'm at that point where I almost will have known him longer than I didn't know him. Our down comforters are still perfect. They're still great. These 2 twin down comforters, they are flat in the middle. Only the edges are fluffy. What is wrong with those? I finally was like, okay, am I allowed to buy new comforters? I feel really weird buying. He's like, what are we going to do with the old ones? That's me thing. I'm always like, what are we going to do with the old ones? I was like, maybe I can make like a down vest with these. That's crazy sauce. Can you imagine? I don't even allow burlap or fake fur in here, and I'm thinking about bringing a down comforter and cutting it up. So, I don't know. We must have just gotten a really cheap comforter. Two of them. Because they are driving me nuts. Flat in the middle, like paper thin. My bed is paper thin in the middle, and then around the edges it's poofy. Oh, man. So but I don't like 2 whole twin comforters. What am I going to do with those? I need to do, maybe I can make dog beds with them. I don't know. You think so, Terry? Yeah, I know. Like, I think, but they're already being used as duvet. I think maybe dog beds or something, or what a waste. Our other 2, we've both had for like 25 years now. Totally fine. I bought one of mine. Mine that I bought when I met him was from IKEA, of all places. I spent $100 on that thing. That was the best $100 for bedding I've ever spent in my life, probably. And that was a splurge. Like, I bought that and I was like scared. I probably bought that when I was like 20. I don't know how luxury they'll be, Barbara, just because, are they just going to turn into be flat things? And then I'll just be mad I used them in the dog beds? You know? I definitely don't want them having, what's wrong with my blade now? Luxury beds, because I just throw them in the washer and dryer, you know? I was thinking if I made a vest, that would be something that, let me concentrate here for a second. Then that would be something I'm not laying down in, so I'm not going to flatten it out. There's no there's no like pets laying on me, so they can't get flattened. It can't get flattened out. This is the only thing I'm thinking of, is that my pets are my problem. Let me count the ways. I don't know. Okay. Notch. Notch. Be careful notching with a rotary knife too, Derek. So there's this funny little marking right here. It looks like a little bow tie. I'm just going to wait to see what that's for. Ooh, that sounds pretty slippery, but cozy. I don't, Adina. I don't have a quick change screw. You see me. I always have to get my screwdriver out. I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah, Nancy, totally. I know. Those are the kinds of purchases I can comfort myself with when we've bought something and we thought we did all of the homework and we thought we got a good one, and then we realize it's not a good one and we're both disappointed. Now we're like, great, is this going into a landfill? Can we fix it? Can we do anything with it? Because I want to buy things like, I'll save and wait and buy something that I can have for as long as possible, you know? And I comfort myself with those other purchases that have definitely gotten my money's worth. All right, we have all this fabric. I have 2 cuffs, and that's it. I've taken forever to cut this thing out, huh? Well, not too bad. It was actually pretty complicated. We can get these in this. Oh, and I need scrap for the sleeves. Okay. Can I get 2? Stripe to stripe. I don't have to be too conservative here. Stripe to stripe, stripe to stripe. Oh my gosh. You see how easy this is to move? These are the fabrics that are worth it, though. You know? How do I now have 2 blades that aren't cutting very good? That does nothing, by the way. You just go over the same spot twice with the nick. But it feels like you're being more positive with it. All right. Gonna get this. There's a circle right here. I love 1/2 inch seams, although maybe I should have thought about that as well, because I could have added a little extra for French seams, you know? So I think this is a good candidate for French seams. Does anyone have a standalone cover stitch? I'm thinking of getting one. Oh, wow, Nancy, that's pretty awesome. I could top stitch. Yeah, I think I could too, Adina. I think you're right. I actually think in this kind of fabric, it would kind of get lost in this kind of denim-y, you know, texture. It's not a, I don't know why I said denim, because it's not even a twill weave, but it kind of has that kind of two-tone, you know, because denim is woven with 2 different colors. You know, like look it up close at it. Got that kind of linen. All right. All right. I asked Cricket today when I came downstairs. Cricket was actually in the house. I was like, I know I look like a ragamuffin because I had a sweater, little like a blue and yellow sweater on over the side knit. And she was like, no. I mean, you know, you're kind of rocking the Zoom thing. Like everything up is great for the camera. I can see why you're doing that. And I'm wearing jeans under my dress. I'm I'm like, I'm just tired of my ankles being cold lately. It's the only thing that gets cold on me is my ankles, and I don't like that. So I like that she didn't, you know, make fun of me. She understood the logic. Let's do this other dot right here. All right. All right, that's everything except for interfacing and our little scrap that we need for the sleeve placket that you guys are going to change my mind on sewing that way. Moon boots, right? Oh, yeah, and I kind of want it just for that, Nancy. So, yeah, understood. I mean, it's funny, I got a comment recently on one of the video. I'm like, do you really need a serger? And that was such a funny video to make. And I really was just trying to celebrate the fact. I'm like, look at these things I've made without a serger, and they're still doing really good. And I think it's a good thing. I wasn't trying to be kind of clickbaity YouTube-ish, you know, but I tried to phrase the title so that's something that you would type in so you could find it. And someone commented on Instagram when I posted the little thing, nope, or no, yes, you absolutely do. That's what they said. Yes, you absolutely do. And I'm sure they didn't even look at the video. And then, but someone commented a couple days ago, thank you so much, you saved me $500. And I was like, oh shoot, I feel like I'm not giving the impression that I don't believe in sergers. They're great. I love them and I use them, but I just don't think they're necessary completely for every kind of sewing, you know? And I think serger on this would be pretty heavy weight. This fabric is very lightweight, you know? Okay, I need 2 3x5" pieces. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just use my table here, and we'll so I'm imagining the 5 is going this way, you know, so we'll line up with this. 1 2 3 4 5. This is the rare moment where the grid is really useful. And then we need 2 at 3 inches. 3. All right. It's stuck to my table. There we go. I'm going to pin it so I know that I actually did cut this and it's not scrap. All right, and so this is our extra. Cool. The Breeze shirt. Oh, why is there a lot of, like, what's the Breeze shirt look like? Is there more trench seams than you would normally use? Is there some sort of like style line on there? Color me interested. I'm like, ooh, I'm there, Derek. I know, but French seams are double the sewing. But man, they make the garment so nice. Okay, so the lighting, it leaves a lot to be desired here, doesn't it? We'll have to work on that. Okay, this is a cuff. Facing. So I like to kind of group my things by, like, this is the sleeve, the cuff, and the facing. So we'll put those together. Skirt back. Let's see, we have our fronts. Let's kind of get a visual of what it's going to look like. Skirt back. Yoke and pocket, bodice front, bodice back. We'll put that with the skirt. Facing goes there. Okay, so we have a couple buttons we can show too. Let's see. Let's see how it's going to look. Let's lay this out. We don't need this, right? Wait, maybe I do. You know, Penny, I had to look it up for someone today. I'm pretty sure, oh, this is how it goes. You can edit it. Like, it's in your profile for the person that you support. You can edit your Patreon tier. And I don't think then you have to go through a whole lot and you won't get double billed or anything like that. I can't do it because it only opens my Patreon account. You know what I mean? And I currently am not supporting any patrons Patreon accounts. You know what I mean? I'm not currently supporting anyone financially. Okay, so this is a fold. We'll fold this back. We're just going to get an idea of what it looks like. Okay. Something like that, right? This looks sweet. This needs to go way over here. Get rid of this. We can use this as our cover photo for the next. Ooh, they're looking kind of like railroad stripe overalls. You know what I'm talking about? Over the railroad stripe. Nancy, I think that's great, dude. $200 serger. If you don't use it a lot and that's all it has to do and it's not terrible to thread, you know, I'm with you. All right, this is a facing. Okay, and then let's try and move this up higher. And let's see what the skirt looks like. Here we go. So then this will be the waist. Oh, it looks so cute. What do you guys think? It's pretty cute. I can't get this to stay here though. There's not enough on the table. I have to hold it. Nancy. You know, but thanks for reminding me. I was making the matching masks to go with it. That'd be cute. Very cute. And then I have one button left. It's sliding off. It's so slippery. Oh my gosh, I lost it. Okay. Go up there. Oh, it's just all tumbling down now. Look at these buttons. Yeah. Good job, Ray. Yeah, very nice. It will be really cute. This is a good fabric choice. They're so good at picking fabric. I feel like, I can't tell if it's an iridescent factor or maybe this is, yeah, so the fabric is definitely, you can't probably see, but this side is lighter and this side is darker. Barely. Yeah. I think it looks good. All right, cool. Well, we'll start sewing tomorrow, part 1. And let's look and see what we'll start with. I think you start right off with the bodice. Yeah, so we'll probably do the bodice tomorrow. And skirts. I'm going to try and leave, maybe I'll do some of the sleeve tomorrow as well. And then we'll do the skirt and the zipper at the end and the hemming. So I think that that's how I'll break it down, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Trying to keep the streams in really manageable sizes, and then try and help me remember to do timestamps, you guys. So you wanted one of the 20. Didn't watch. Oh, did it show? Let me see. My alerts are broken. There's this guy I know who mods in this big streamer stream, but he actually will do like work for people like me, and he's like undervalues himself, so I'm always like tipping him and telling him you really need to charge more for this, because he's also complaining about some of the customers he like streamers he has as customers. I'm like, yeah, you probably don't need, yeah. So I'm gonna ask him about the alerts thing. So yeah, so this is gonna be fun. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Hearts, for sending us this, and Decades of Style. This will be a really fun we always love these patterns. They're always so fun and clever. So all right, so I will be here tomorrow. I may be live later on today, just organizing the patterns behind me, because I finally got what I'm going to use. And I'm going to be using, oh, here. I'm using these clear pockets. Adina posted these in our Facebook group, and they were the exact same ones I ordered. So I was really glad to see she does this too. And so this is how I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be doing that. And so if you want to hang out and nerd out on organizational stuff, I might be live doing this for a little bit. The other thing I might do spontaneously as a stream is sew some kids' PJs. But I don't know. I have to do that quickly, so I may not do that live. So yeah, Dina, I know. I just don't do it, do the serger, because not everybody has a serger. So that's why I got in the habit, and now I'm really addicted to them. Cool. All right. Well, oh, look, Barbara. Thank you. I don't have the alert, but I see it. I saw it. Why isn't it? So let's see. I am seeing your thanks, guys. Yeah. So if you don't follow me on Patreon, or you're not a current patron, I changed my tiers yesterday. And so the only two big changes I made was on the $5 tier. I just made that straight up just a $5 tier, and there's just not going to be from now on any access to, if I give you guys something for free on there, like a pattern piece or a discount code. And then that is for the $10 tier. And then for the $20 tier, I've started Zoom sessions. So we'll have a monthly thing where you get to meet 1-on-5 with me, and you can bring your project, you can whatever you want, and I'll have my machine handy, and we'll get you back on track if you're having trouble. Maybe you want to just talk about options for something, whatever it is, and it'll be like a 2 to 3 hour time with no more than 4 other people with you. I said 5 other people, but it's 5 people total in the Zoom session. And I'm going to try and make the time slots very accessible for everybody in the world. So I'll have one in the evening and one during the day on weekdays, and same on the weekends. So, and it's going to be limited number of slots for those. So thanks, you guys. Oh, so Barbara, that is the command I made. So this right here is a timer. So from now on, when I start my stream, I'm going to start a timer. Whoops. Nope. I don't want this one. I want up time. There we go. So you're going to see this. Did it not? It's not starting. Oh, there it is. You see it? So that way I can maybe start doing timestamps live, Barbara. So I don't have to, oh, hey, Mrs. Necro. Yeah, so, yeah, just time at the end. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up with you guys. Yeah, so that way I can maybe say, oh, now I'm doing, I'll just have this like sitting here next to me. And then on here, on my things, I'll write down on step 1 the time on the screen. So on my stream, there is no place that shows me the time that's elapsed. And so it's really tricky to actually, wait, I'm going to reset this and get it back to 0. It's really tricky to do it, actually. I have to keep that up on the screen, too. It's this little widget. There's nothing that shows me how long I'm live, and if you're doing it for me, it would be a delay, unless one of you wanted to do the timestamps, which is a lot to ask of you. And you have to like click on the time bar. It's confusing. Yeah, I just forgot to click it today, Barbara, and we had some sound issues, so we keep having some sound issues. All right, hopefully I'll sort those out by tomorrow, though. Maybe, probably not. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. And thanks so much for the support. Thanks to all the new edited patrons, too. I understand, too, if you want to go down to the $5 tier, whatever you want to do. So thanks. I appreciate it. It is not underappreciated. I really appreciate it. So it's great. And I'm looking forward to those Zoom sessions. They're going to be really fun. So yay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for the horizontal stripe suggestion, right? And thanks, Hearts and Decades. And if, like I said, there's a little code right here if you want to place an order with them. So, all right. See you guys soon. Where's my stream ending thing? Okay, here we go. Okay. I got to do the thumbnail too, right? Okay, bye.